Hey, welcome to the Butterfly Empire. It is me, your Butterfly Queen. And we are here to cover something very, very special. Some of y'all may have heard of it. Some of y'all may have not. And that's okay, because that's why I'm here. I'm here to let you learn all about it. All the little nooks and crannies. And that is okay. So come in and join us on this Butterfly Empire. Here we go. Hello, it is me, your Butterfly Queen. And it's been a while since I could talk about this podcast, because someone finally confessed to Benet Ramsey's murders. Do y'all even remember who Benet Ramsey is? Okay, here we go. Okay, a longtime suspect in the 1996. Okay, 1996, this is all happening. I was 6 years old. And I'm 33 now, so do the math. Anyways, in the 1996 murder of Benet Ramsey in Boulder, Colorado, has also allegedly confessed to accidentally killing the 6-year-old in a series of letters sent to a former high school classmate. Gary Oliva, 54, is convicted pedophile, currently serving a 10-year sentence in Colorado for possession of child pornography, but is up for parole. Back in 3 years ago, 2020. Okay, this sick little pedophile man literally said, "I never loved anyone like I did Benet, and yet I let her slip and her head bashed in half as I watched her die." Whew, that's dang. Oliva wrote in a letter to his former classmate, Michael Vale, "It was an accident. Please believe me. She was not like the other kids." And then in another letter, Oliva wrote, "Benet completely changed me and removed any evil from me. Just one look at her beautiful face, her glowing skin, and her divine..." Excuse me, I'm going to go throw up. "Divine God body. I realized wrong to kill other kids, yet by accident she died, and it was my fault." Ugh. Those words slipping out of my mouth makes me want to fucking gag. Oh, you fucking disgusting freaking piece of human. Ugh. Disgusting. There you go, coffee. Wash that nastiness down my throat. Vale has suspected his old high school buddy killed Benet for the last 22 years, ever since he received a disturbing phone call from Oliva shortly after the murder and before the case made national headlines. "My suspicions began when Gary called me late at night on December 26, 1996. Vale, who lives in Ventura, California, told the Daily Mail he was sobbing and said, 'I heard the little girl.'" Oh, you don't fucking see, you nasty trash. Tried to get more information out of him. The only other thing he told me was that he was in the Boulder, Colorado area on December 27th. I read on the front page of my local newspaper, "Girl 6 slain in Boulder, Colorado." I immediately called the Boulder Police Department and told them what I knew about Gary and what he told me just days earlier. They didn't get back to me. 3 months later, I called the police again to find out what was going on in the investigation of Gary, but instead I was sent a police answering machine set up for tips on Benet's case. He literally just fucking told you. You ignored him, and now you guys want to have, answering machines for tips? He just gave you a perfectly great tip. Sure. Let's ignore him. You guys are awful. I left a message on the recording line and again, never heard back from the investigators. Are you fucking kidding me? Come on, people. He gave you a tip. You didn't follow up. That's your fucking fault. It could have been solved years ago. But no. Make no fucking sense. Do you, Jared? So, we're going back in time. Back to the future. You know those good times? Mm-hmm. Back in 1996, Olivia was a registered sex offender whose listed address was not far from the Ramsey home. Are you fucking kidding me? Yes, they wouldn't fucking go look at fucking pedophiles, but let's go look at the pictures, parents, and the ransom letter. Because that makes so much sense. It really does. When they found her, her panties weren't even on. Okay, now it's all coming back to me now, because if I remember about the Jean Benet case, they used one of those, they choked her with like a bow. Well, I'm not sure exactly what it was called. It's a weird fucking thing. Well, anyways, you tighten it, you twist it, and it tightens around your fucking neck, you know. He says that her head slipped. Okay, now I'm very confused. Okay, let's keep reading. I haven't read this yet. He is a registered sex offender who listed not far from the Ramsey home, and he reportedly attended a candle lighting vigil shortly after John Benet's murder. But despite receiving several tips from a Vale, border police didn't consider Olive a suspect until 2000, when he arrested on the unrelated charge and police found a photo of Jean Benet, a poem he had written, Ode to Jean Benet, and a stun gun among his possessions. Several investigators, including Lou Smith, a retired homicide detective hired by the Boulder Police Department, had theorized that a stun gun may have been used to subdue Jean Benet the night of the murder. Bruh. Boulder police investigators lost interest in Oliva when new DNA testing method failed to match his DNA to the crime scene evidence. But the department has since acknowledged that the crime scene was mishandled in 2002. Schmidt, who has since passed away, told 48 Hours that he still considered Oliva a suspect. So did Vale, who told the Daily Mail that Boulder police have been placed too many emphasis on DNA matches, when it's well known that the crime scene and evidence in the case was compromised. Haunted by Oliva's tearful phone call, Vale has maintained contact with him for years in hopes of eliciting a conversation. I've continued this for decades now, even with him being in prison, Vale said, but he has only just admitted to killing her. He believes he will still go to hell if he doesn't admit to it. You're going to hell either way, guy. You murdered. You touched children. Whatever. I have now sent this letter to Boulder police and hope it will get Gary to prove them with firm proof to the name who else may have been involved in Jean Benet's death. Now they had this, a written confession. The police need to charge him with her murder. Olivia has been behind bars in Colorado since 2016, when he was arrested by Boulder police on child porn charges. And according to the Dama, Olivia may have been taken responsibility for Jean Benet's murder. I pleaded guilty to the murder of Jean Benet as well as countless charges for assault and sexual against many children. Olivia wrote in a recent letter to Vale, according to DML, there was various agreements made by me and the court which I signed many pages. While there is no such plea on the record, the arrest affidavit, while redicated, very likely alludes to Olivia's long-time ongoing obsession with Jean Benet. According to the affidavit obtained by the Daily Mail, investigators found on Olivia's phone approximately 335 photos that had something to do with. Yeah, no, just I'm like, nope, I'm not gonna say it. With stuff and littles, yeah. Okay, this is the last bit on this website, and then I'll move to the next stuff I found. But some more regular photos of her likely found online. The affidavit continues with those photos. 19 were images from the autopsy, likely from the photographs that had been leaked to the press in years past. There were also many photographs of what appeared to be shrines to, It is unknown where these shrines are located, or if they were created by Oliva or not. I observed in the contacts section of Oliva's phone, there were many references to them. In the video section of the phone, I found several videos that were attributed to them as well. On Thursday, January 10th, the Boulder Police Department issued a statement to the media on its website, seemingly to respond to the Daily Mail story. The Boulder Police Department is aware of Gary Oliva, and has investigated his potential involvement in this case, included several previous confessions. The statement reads, the department routinely receives information on this investigation information provided to the police department and is reviewed along with the many tips and theories we receive. There are no new updates in this investigation. The department will not comment further. Okay. Well, let's go look, shall we? Okay, I found more creepy nasty. So. At the time of John Benet's murder, Oliva was homeless and sleeping on the streets of Boulder. He was known to frequently the University of Colorado campus and often hung in and around the St. Thomas Aquinas Catholic Center, where he would collect his mail and hang out with other vagrants in the parking lot. The university campus is less than a mile from the Ramsey home, while St. Thomas Aquinas is mere 13 houses away. A long alleyway running behind the church also extends to the Ramsey's home, meaning someone could have moved between the two properties easily and potentially undetected. Jean Benet's bedroom window would have also been visible from the alley. She and her older brother Burke were known to ride their bicycles down a concealed pathway to Ocean. Okay. Vale believes Oliva may have crossed paths with Jean Benet's weeks or months before her death, developed an obsession with the young girl, and stalked and surveilled her family, potentially even breaking into the Ramsey home on numerous occasions. In addition, Vale calls Oliva's alarming proximity to the crime scene is a phone call he received from him on December 20, 1996, just hours before Jean Benet's lifeless body was found. A distressed Oliva told him through frantic and sharp exhales of breath, I heard a little girl. Vale pried for more information, but Olivia abruptly hung up the phone. The next morning, 6-year-old girl in the Boulder newspaper found use your phone, rude. Forgot to mute my phone. My bad. But we already covered that. Okay, more information about the Oliva guy. Oliva was previously charged in Oregon for sexually assaulting a 7-year-old girl in 1990 and for attempting to strangle his mother to death with a telephone cord the following year. Oh my gosh! That's where that comes. Okay, I see it now. During the investigation into the offender, Smith discovered that Olivia had attended a candlelight vigil. We already covered that. But images of Olivia were captured showing him paying his respects in the front row, holding a large folder under his arm that appeared to be sealed with a strip of black duct tape. It's clear what the folder contains and it was ever recovered. Maybe exactly 3 years later, Olivia would be arrested on the University of Colorado campus on December 12, 2000 and charged with criminal trespassing, drug possession, and possession of a weapon by a prior criminal offender. We already discovered that. Okay. Discovery of the stun gun was potentially a risk interested development in Smith due to some strangulation marks on her neck. Yeah, I remember that one. Believed the one had been used on Benet to subdue her in the moments before her death. They got a copy of his arrest report. It's revealed that Olivia was arrested after allegedly entering the university's fine arts building after hours. He initially gave the officer a fake name, Gary Sabetta, before... Hold on, lost my train of thought. Before producing an ID card with his real name. When asked why, Olivia said that he was worried that there was a warrant out for his arrest. Investigators soon discovered there was. He had violated the terms of his bail in Oregon for sex crimes. He initially due to extradited back to Oregon, but the states declined to do so. A search of his belongings later yielded a strange poem about Jean Benet's written and illustrated by Olivia, with clippings of the case and a photo of the girl. During an interview with the university cops, Olivia was informed that he had been banned from stepping foot on campus again. In a report, an officer wrote, he said that he has been around the campus for several years and does sit in some the classes. Wait, what? Olivia apparently told the officer that he was very upset and he'd no longer be able to leave little mementos on a rock where a plaque for slain student Susan Chase had been placed. Chase was beaten to death, raped, and dumped in an alley in Boulder, 1997, just months after Jean Benet. Huh. Imagine fucking that. Her case went unsolved for 12 years before... I'm gonna butcher this name, but just work with me. Shalene National Diego Almost Alcada was found guilty of the brutal crime in 2009. Murdered it. Gotcha. Olivia claims to be some sort of amateur artist and likes to hang out around the Fine Arts Center. We talked about his background and his criminal charges and past problems. He stated that his main mistake was the sexual assault in Oregon. Other than that, he said everything else is because of him getting drunk and stupid. Yes, let's blame liquor. That's what we do. Olivia denied being a thief and claimed that he had been in the arts center to get out of the cold. Olivia seems very emotional about Jean-Benet Ramsey and Susan Chase murders, even to the point of getting tears out of his eye. Conclusions in that Olivia shows signs of being fairly intelligent, but that other times he seemed off in a faraway land. Olivia pled guilty to the charges in this case. Okay, let's move on to the second arrest. Okay, second arrest. He was arrested in Boulder 16 years later and found again possession of a number of Jean Benet's related artifacts. In June 2016, Olivia was caught uploading images depicting the sexual abuse of children to her personal Gmail account on public Gmail account on public Wi-Fi connections across Boulder. And a copy of his arrest affidavit obtained said it was more aware of Olivia's elect activity by Google. See, Google be watching y'all. Olivia was detained under a bridge near railroad track on June 6, 2016, and his phone and other personal items were seized by investigators. On the device, police recovered approximately 695 images depicting child pornography. Details about the images are redacted in the report. Additionally, there was 335 photos of and related to Jean Benet. Some were regular photos of her, like found online. 19 were for her autopsy. And others purposely leaked. More of the shrine. Listen, okay. Investigators also noted that a number of contacts on Olivia's phone referenced members of the Ramsey family, and several videos paying tribute to her were saved on this device. Holy shit, what? I can't really read this, but it's newspaper clipping of the Ramsey case. Oh, he was found in possession of a number of Jean Benet's related artifacts, like that one. Newspaper clippings. Okay, I had to click through those photos and look at them, so if there was anything relevant. Nobody wants to sit in silence while I click and say, yeah, oh, damn, nice. Yeah, nobody wants to sit through that. Numerous other images depicted scenes of cannibalism, torture, and mutilation of dead bodies per the report. Along with those images were generally believed to have been crafted by Oliva that depicted rape, murder, disembowelment, and cannibalism. Images of children crying and otherwise appearing scared have been saved on his phone in large quantities, and dozens of images purporting to depict cannibalism and death have been wiped from the device. Olivia's sketch notebook and a black rucksack were also seized by police. In the notebook, Olivia made a number of colleagues that combined photographs of either semi-nude girls or girls in bathing suits with images of child pornography. In his backpack, investigators found numerous items, including what they called 8 magazines of interest. 7 of the magazines were American Girl magazines and featured photography of young pubescence of early girls. The other magazines was a skating magazine with young female approximately 11 to 12 years old on the front cover. Due to the nature of the case and Olivia's history of sexual assault on the children, as well as many training and experiences, people with pedophilic impulses generally use those types of magazines for the purpose of sexual gratification. Others noted that at the time of the arrest, Olivia showed no remorse for his actions, but did reportedly tell them that he admitted to having a problem with young girls around the age of 8 and 9. Whew, roughy. You're a little roughy-toughy, ain't you? I killed Jean Benet. 3 years after his arrest, Olivia penned a series of odd and disturbing letters to Vale claiming to be the one who killed Jean Benet by accident. One of those letters. Oof. We're not reading that. Not reading that again. That made me choke. Please don't hate me. I'm sorry I turned scabs, but even when you first met me, I told you how I wanted to kill children. When I met Jean Benet, she took away that horrible craving to kill kids that you've known me for. She changed me into a new person, but it's okay. I've killed so many kids, I've lost track. Oof. Vale forwarded confessions to the police department in 2019. Still investigating at this time. They refused to go any further, commented on anything. Serial creep, this is called. Lou Schmidt was one of the first investigators to endorse the theory shared by Jean Benet's parents, John and Patsy Ramsey, that a pedophile had likely broken into their home and murdered their daughter during attempted kidnapping. John and Patsy were deemed persons of interest in the case almost immediately after Jean discovered his daughter's body. They remained key suspects until 2008 when they were publicly cleared. See, I told you about that. They were a suspect, I remembered that part, but they weren't looking for nobody else. Yeah, I told you guys this. They remained key suspect in 2008 when they were publicly cleared. The Boulder Police Report had been heavily criticized over the last 20 years for its handling of Jean Benet's investigation, mainly for neglecting to investigate other potential suspects and failed to secure the crime scene. Destroying potential vital DNA evidence in the process. Jean Benet Ramsey told the U.S. in an interview last year that BPD investigators are simply ill-equipped and not inexperienced to deal with such a complex murder case, but also too arrogant to accept help from others. God forbid. Sounds like every person. He said it's his belief that an intruder broke into his home while they were out celebrating Christmas Day, laid in bed waiting before striking in the dead of night. In the dead of night, when they all gone to sleep. John said due to the complex layout of the sprawling home, He believes the intruder, or intruders, may have broken in multiple times and had likely been surveilling his family for several weeks or months prior to the killing. Vale said there's no doubt in mind that Gary was, which is Gary Oliva, was involved in her death. Whether that be physically responsible or as accomplice to another intruder, Vale told him he was known as a scary guy during their shared high school years because of his erratic and disturbing behavior. Vale said Olivia would frequently break into homes, schools, and other buildings to commit petty thefts. I would call him a creeper. When we were at school, Gary used to creep into homes, buildings, and classrooms to steal art supplies, paintbrushes, glue, paint, things like that. He was getting his mail 13 houses away from the Ramseys, and I think broke into the home more than once. What was down in the basement room, where Jean Benet was found? That's where Patsy kept all of her art supplies. What? Oh, this just gets better and better. Okay. Let's get back to it after a short break. New sponsors. Just kidding. Okay, moving on to actually when the tragic case happened. Jean Benet, to remind y'all who we're talking about, what went down, was found dead by her father in Seldom used room in the basement of the family home. That they often refer to as the wine cellar. She was reported missing hours earlier after Jean and Patsy awoke to find the girl missing from her bed in a bizarre prepaid ransom note at the foot of the staircase that was addressed to Jean and demanding $118,000 from her safe return. John found his daughter's body swaddled into a white blanket. She had been strangled with a garrote. That's the word I couldn't figure out. Fashioned from a knotted white rope and a broken paintbrush handle taken from a box of Patsy's art supplies. Her wrists were tied, black duct tape covered her mouth, and she had suffered a fracture to the back of her skull. Okay, that makes more sense. Jean Benet's case of death was ruled asphyxiation and blood-formed trauma to the head. There was also signs of sexual assault. Vale said he wasn't more aware of the details regarding the garrote until 2016, at the time Olivia was arrested for child pornography possession. When Vale saw images of the makeshift weapon, he said the hairs on his arms stood up. The use of Patsy's paintbrush and the complicated knot crafted to tie it together confirmed Vale's belief that his high school acquaintance could be the culprit. I said to myself, holy crap, that's a paintbrush and there's a knot on the fucking string. When I looked at some of Gary's art collages he did at high school, he was fascinated with knots. Complicated knots, remind you. It blew my mind when I saw the knots and I saw the garrote. My heart just sank. What an awful thing to do to a person. A sadistic and a cruel thing. Well, I have been searching, and I am literally not finding a damn thing that they actually arrested this guy or made any kind of anything besides what I've told y'all. I'm just getting allegedly, then Dominic murder, research paper, blah blah blah. Still remains unsolved, but has suspects. But if I find anything, I'll let y'all know if the arrest has ever been made. Be sure to update y'all. But until then, that's all I got. So thank you guys for listening. It is me, your butterfly queen, and I'm gonna end this session right here. Thank you for listening. Bye.